This is Aluna George with Kaleidoscope Love. A K-Canada edition. He will be coming to South Africa for Afropunk, and trust and believe I will be there with bells on. I've loved him ever since. It is 5 minutes after 9. Like I said, we do have a Web Crash Wednesday. Joining me in studio. Good morning, Tsecho.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm so great.
Welcome to the Breakfast Wave.
Thank
I was going to say, obviously everyone who listens to the show knows what Web Crash Wednesday is all about, and this is about people who have branched off into the digital dominating space. Yes. You are an author, and now you're also now entering this digital space. Correct. Why the move?
Well, I mean, I think as a businesswoman, it's important to always think of different revenue streams.
Yes.
So as an author, my first two books, romance novels, Poetry of Love and 3 Dates, I was like, well, I don't own the rights. I had to get the rights back from the publisher, which they luckily agreed to do.
Okay.
But as a result of that, I was like, how else can I make revenue out of these books? And luckily for me, working in television, that's where I formed most of my career.
Okay.
I was able to think of other ways in order to make revenue from the books.
Oh, all right. So let's get into an introduction of who exactly you are, because I just said, hey, morning, Tsecho, like that. Yeah, like Himbang Tsecho. So Tsecho Monaisa, who are you, and when did you start writing, and why romance novels? Like, I want to know everything.
All right, sure. Okay, so born in the Northwest, grew up there in the 80s, and that's where my love of writing started.
Okay.
Because at home, there was so many of us, and I always wanted to have a bit of solitude.
Okay.
And realizing that I liked being on my own, then I started writing my own thoughts and coming up with my own stories. And so writing's always been a part of my life. Then I moved to Joburg about 20 years ago. I went to school here.
Okay.
I started working in television. I was at the SABC for a couple of years in drama as a commissioning editor. Then I went across to ETV. But whilst I was there, I was writing because I've always loved writing.
Okay.
So I would get home from work and write my books at night. And so that's how Poetry of Love first came about in 2011. And then 3 Dates in 2013. And then 3 Sisters, which I self-published, came out in 2015. And so in 2015, I've been working freelance as a writer. I've written for many TV shows like Isidingo, Isibaya, sitcoms like Khari Dumele, Tuli Notolane.
That's an extensive CV there.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, so that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
So getting into writing, romance novels especially.
Yes.
What is it that you enjoy so much about them?
The celebration of love, particularly black love, because it's under siege at the moment, more so now than when the books came out, which is why I think the web series is so important and so crucial right now, because we consume media on the web and online all the time. So why not translate those books into a web series? But I think at the time, I've always just been a romantic at heart. That's pretty much, that's me in a nutshell. Like, I love romance. I love the idea of love. And I think when I came out and I wrote the first 2 books, the publisher was looking for black authors in the city specifically to write stories about black love and in an urban setting. And so the brief was very clear. It spoke to who I am and what I enjoy writing about. And as a result, the books came out.
I was going to ask something a little later on in the interview, but you brought it up now. You said something about black love being under siege. And just before you stepped in, I was actually rewatching your interview on Morning Live about 3 Sisters.
Yes.
And that book was basically talking about something that has now been thrust into the spotlight especially, and that is about women abuse. What is it about the book that still resonates today and that you think, I mean, I've wrote about this and I researched about this and I see it still hasn't changed.
It's so weird. When I wrote 3 Sisters, it took me 5 years to write that book. So I started in 2009. It came out, I finished in 2014. It came out in 2015. And I had no idea, I haven't been through I haven't been through abuse. So it wasn't from a point of self-experience or self-learning. Because I always believe that the characters have to be true to themselves. So as a writer, I need to put myself in their shoes and not the other way around. But when I wrote the book, I didn't even know it'd be about abuse, because I generally didn't have an idea what I wanted to write about. All I knew was that I wanted to be about 3 women who are very, very different from each other, but they all have a commonality. And having said that, Millicent is a housewife. She's 45 years old. She's affluent, married for 25 years. Mpho is a housewife, married for about 10 years, and Lesego is in the city in Johannesburg, about 26 years old, and her first job has just come to the city. But the commonality that they all go through is the abuse in their relationships. When I started the book, I didn't set out to make it about abuse, but it just came organically out of telling the three storylines of those three characters. But when I look at what's happening in society now, I mean, it can't even be penned. I don't think. Like, it's something that goes so much deeper than a fiction book. It is people's lives, you know. And it's just, it makes me angry.
I know.
It makes me so angry, but it also makes me deeply hurt and deeply saddened by the experiences that so many women go through, you know, at the hands of men. In relationships with men that they trust and men that they've opened their hearts to.
Aren't you a person who's supposed to love this woman? And so now where's the discourse?
It's a societal pandemic, and I honestly feel like discourse and opening up and speaking about it is one key thing that we need to do, both men and women, not necessarily to each other, but men need to speak, women need to speak, and in some way, hopefully that'll start to push us forward as a people, as opposed to, you know, I feel like we're stuck at the moment. I feel like we're stuck.
We're going around the same conversation and literally going around in circles, and no one's coming up with any solutions. Correct. We are chilling with Tshego Monaisa, Web Crush Wednesday this morning. We're going to come back and talk in detail about the web series, because when I was, you know, talking about it during the beginning of the show, I said it's probably something I'll relate to, being a single girl in Jozi.
Yes.
It is a Sun El musician, Simi and Lelo Kama with Sonini, a beautiful, beautiful song off of his album Africa to the World. It is a 16 minutes after 9. I'm still chilling with our Web Crush Wednesday guest, Uteko Monais, right here in studio. And we're actually having such a funny conversation off air, which will lead us into what we're going to talk about now, which is your web series, which is coming out in October.
Correct.
October.
It will be uploaded. The first ep goes up on the 1st of October. There's 10 episodes, and then it will be uploaded every Monday. So from the 1st of October all the way through to the beginning of December. Yes.
All right. So I'm just gonna say the title of the web series. It says "The Single Diaries of a Jersey Girl." Yes. Let's talk about the concept of the stressful web series that will personally feel like an attack on me.
Surely hope not.
What is the overall concept of it?
All right. So it's basically about being single, being a single woman and looking for love in Johannesburg. There are 3 storylines. Each of the protagonists have a different journey and a different take on love.
Okay.
But ultimately it is about them looking for love in Johannesburg.
Okay. So I know it's the 3 main characters, but their lives don't actually intertwine.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have Mule. They all live in the city in Maboneng area.
Okay.
It made it easier to shoot that way. But Mule is a daddy's girl. She wants to be a writer, but her mom and her sister look down on that. They think that she should be a bit more aspirational, like how much do writers make anyway.
Okay.
But her dad supports her. She meets a man that she falls in love with, but he's a musician. And the mom and the sister are like, oh, here we go, Mule, we told you about this, you know. But ultimately, she has to make her own decision, and she goes after the man that she loves. Then you've got Lesedi. She's a dancer. She's independent. She's been raising her sister, Karabo, and has put her through school since her mom died at a young age. And she's sleeping with her dance partner. She thinks they're in a relationship, but then he reveals to her that they're dance partners with benefits.
Stressful times.
And so she is obviously disappointed by this, and they break up. She meets a man who does fall in love with her, but she's not that easily convinced. But he does sway her eventually.
Okay.
And the third storyline is a bit more comical. It's Tracy. She's 29 years old.
Yeah.
She's tired of being single, and she wants to settle down. But so she decides that she's going to date every single man who asks her. And that takes her on a journey of very funny dates. And ultimately, she makes a decision about what she wants for herself, as opposed to what society sort of puts expectations on. Not so much more now than before, but she decides for herself that she actually wants to be her own woman. And I'll leave it there. I don't want to give too much away.
This has me excited already, because while we were talking, I'm thinking, there are so many stories.
Yes.
Not only personal stories of friends, of the kind of things they've gone through just in the pursuit of trying to find love in Johannesburg. So from your personal experience and maybe from the friends you've shared things with, and maybe from doing research about this, what is the funniest thing about being single in Johannesburg? Just to keep it on a light note.
I think for me, it's the men that you meet and the things they say to you. I literally, I wrote the books, and I adapted the books into the web series. But the third storyline, Tracy's storyline, the one who dates any man who asks her, I had to borrow a lot from personal experience. Okay. I've literally had a man tell me that he wanted to upgrade me.
Okay, okay, girls.
I was shocked. I was like, what's wrong? What is that?
Take care of your life.
It was so offensive.
Am I not taken care of? What is happening?
Men will throw money at you. They'll throw champagne your way, and those things are all good and well. But you know that it's a trade exchange, right? And for me, I'm always about getting to know somebody first, before we get into the coitus.
Yeah, I was gonna say Johannesburg people don't believe in getting to know people.
A person,
I mean, there's someone who's gonna tell me, we'll get to know each other once, and I'm saying, let's talk.
Yes.
And what I realized is men here don't like phone calls. They don't like getting to know a person over the phone and chatting. All they want to do is, hey, on WhatsApp, send me your pic. What are you going to do?
And I think it's a city thing. I think it's just because everything else is so fast paced.
Yes.
Nobody wants to just take the time to slow it down, get to know somebody, take them out for dinner. But that's been my own personal experience. I mean, all my best friends are married. So I don't know. Maybe it's me, because they meet the guys who will take them on dates and woo them and all the lovely, beautiful things.
And that's all we ask for.
I'm like, maybe it's because I chose to be a writer. Maybe this is my way of gathering information.
Honestly, I will tell you. I mean, I spoke to you off and I said I've lived in Joburg since I was in university, and it's been 8 years now.
Yeah.
And literally the first time I went on a date was in 2016.
OMG. Listen to that.
And I'm like, and I've been here since 2012.
That is unacceptable.
I don't understand. Like, men
need
here
to step
don't
it up, do better, guys.
They don't believe in going on dates. And I'm
don't
thinking
know
that's
what
the
it
best part, to see someone. Number one, you're in public. Number two,
Yeah.
you also get to interact. There's a certain way you wish you can judge someone's character. For example, how they speak to a waiter or waitress who's assisting you guys. Do they open the door for you?
Yeah.
Do they wait for you to get home safely?
Exactly.
Do they offer to
they
take you
text
home?
you and say, did you
Do
get
they
home okay? Necessities.
I met a guy this one time and we went out and I told him, please text me when you get home so I know that you're safe. He would never do it. I'm like, what if you are dead in a ditch?
But would he ask if you got home okay?
No.
That's a red flag. That's a
Girl,
red
don't
flag.
you even get me started. So I'm really excited, as you can tell, about the web series. What are your hopes for, number one, you branching into digital space?
Yes, I am.
Of course, the growth of the web series. And is there anything, other concepts you're thinking of in your head right now and think, okay, after I finish, the 10 episodes, I want to do something else, but still, linked to, single girls in Jozi?
Well, since you brought it up, I'm in the development stage of branching out throughout Africa. So looking at different African cities, finding writers from not each city, but the ones that I will choose. So at the moment, we are busy with Namibia. We're doing the Single Diaries of a Windhoek Girl. I met a writer. She did a writing course, and I was the script facilitator in January this year. She's in Namibia. And we're basically going to do a joint venture where she writes the episodes based on what's happening in her city, being a single woman in her 20s.
Actually.
And hopefully from there it'll just branch out into other African cities.
I'm
hoping to go to Lusaka and Accra and Dar es Salaam. I just wanted to go everywhere. Nairobi, so I'm very, very excited.
Lagos, Nigeria.
I'm scared of Lagos.
Also some horror stories coming through from there. But I think it's so... I'm not that I'm tired, because I'm a very, I'm very open-minded, but I really would love to hear some, because when you talk about black love, we always see an example being like, African Americans.
Yes.
There's even a Twitter account specially dedicated to African American black couples.
Correct.
And you look at it and
Black
you think,
Love Page,
oh my god, yes. And you're like, oh my goodness, but you seldom see Africans celebrating black love. So I honestly would sign up to watch that.
Awesome.
So I'm really excited for it. Please tell us again, when will it be launching? Are you going to have a screening party, or is it not public?
No, there is a screening party. It's open to the public. It's going to be on Saturday, the 29th of September.
Okay.
I will finalize the venue and put it up on the Instagram page, Single Diaries of a Jozi Girl, Facebook page, The Single Diaries of a Jozi Girl, as well as on Twitter. On Twitter, you have to follow me, BLK_Lezotti, or my company page, Mona Lisa Product 2. In order to get all the updates, but definitely on the Facebook page, The Single Diaries of a Jozi Girl, as well as Instagram. So the first screening, which is open to everybody is welcome to come, will be on the 29th of September, and then the first episode will be uploaded on YouTube on the 1st of October, on Monday at 12 o'clock, and every Monday from there for the next 10 Mondays, we will upload an episode at 12 o'clock.
Thank you so much, Sekgo, for joining us this morning.
So
I really can't wait, and we'll probably have you back in again when it's already, up and running, and we'll get to see how we as an audience react to it.
Yay!
Legendary Beats.
If I tell you do like this, I'ma show my do like this. If I tell you do like that, I'ma show my take her to the left, though.
Oh, but we'll be techno copana, Overture international banana. Timothy Sharp, Timothy Kana. Oh, yeah, one time make we go banana. Oh, but we'll be techno copana, Overture international banana. Timothy Pan, Timothy Kana. Oh, yeah, make we go for the one corner. One corner.
Oh, so low, oh, fake basis zombie, oh, you be zombie, yeah. If unaya tobawa, oh, my jaye, yeah.
shaye, oh, mama gbe shaye, yeah. Jaye be till be get till the morning, oh, till the morning, yeah. Hello Jack, I will listen to get is in my mommy, oh, my mommy, eh. You say you love me, and to get them on a story, oh, na story, eh. Paper call, I know, I'm on a money, oh, na money, eh. Oh, let me be sugar, up me lonely, oh, my honey, yeah. Roboto, baby, get down, oh, yeah, don't go low. Drive me crazy, make me go low. I dey feel like I shot to go low. I'm a roboto, baby, get down, oh, yeah, don't go low. Drive me crazy, make me go low. I dey feel like I shot to go low. Oh, so low, oh, fake me, sissy zombie, oh, you be zombie, yeah. If unaya tobawa, oh, my jaye, yeah. Ti mo ba gbe sisi lo, mo ma gbe shaye, oh, mo ma gbe shaye, yeah. Jaye be till be get till the morning, oh, till the morning. Bamuro roboto. Baby get down, make we don't go low. Baby go down, make we go low. You shock me like a go go. I'ma get bamuro roboto. Say you go be my yo lolo. Say make you leave me for God, yeah, no. Elephant lomo no be tambolo. Oh, but go be techno copana. Overje international banana. Emi Timothy sharp, Timothy kana. Oh yeah, one time make you go corner. Oh, but go be techno copana. Overje international banana. Emi Timothy kana. Oh yeah, make you go for the one corner. Oh, so low, oh, fake me sissy zombie, oh, you be zombie, yeah. If unaya tobawa, oh, my jaye, yeah. Ti mo ba gbe sisi lo, mo ma gbe shaye, oh, mo ma gbe shaye, yeah. Jaye be till be get till the morning, oh, till the morning, yeah. Roboto, baby get down, oh, yeah, don't go low. Drive me crazy, make me go low. I dey feel like I shot to go low. I'm roboto, baby get down, oh, yeah, don't go low. Drive me crazy, make me go low. I dey feel like I shot to go low.
If I tell you do like this, I'ma show my do like this. If I tell you do like that, I'ma show my take out to the left, though.
This is Touch HD.
I love this station. I love it.
Touch HD. Turn it up loud. The only radio that matters. Touch HD. The Breakfast Wave.
24% of employers say this is the number one reason they didn't hire someone. I'm going to say one, how they dress.
It's like, yeah, why do you want the job? Because I'm perfect.
Why do you think we should hire you? Because you're hiring.
I honestly want to use that one.
Because you're hiring.
Because I hate that thing.
You need someone to sit here at this computer and type.
You guys.
I'm here.
I hate that thing because
why must it be you? Because I'm looking.
I'm looking and you guys are hiring. Why must I now come?
We match.
Interviews feel like chica machica. We have to go to circle. Why should we hire you? Now,
okay, first of all, Mina, I'm the fastest type on it.
The Breakfast Wave. Weekdays, 7 to 10 a.m. Hosted by the Microwave Boys and your girl, Yaya.
I just had the lovely Tshego Monaisi joining me in studio for the last couple of minutes talking about her series, The Single Diaries of a Jozi Girl, which is launching on the 1st of October. Can't wait to watch it. But it's 9:30, which means it's time for our Wavy Mix, and I've got the Tools Deep in studio. And happy to say she's a woman. Hey, girl.
Yes.
How you doing?
Hi, I'm fine.
I'm always surrounded by men, like constantly. I host the show with like 4 men, and we always have DJs, and they're all men. And I'm just like, where is the estrogen?
It's our man. This man.
Up
Sorry,
in
take
the
it now.
space. How you doing?
I'm doing well. And yourself?
I'm good, thank you. So when did you start DJing? And yeah, how's it been?
Okay, Tools Deep is a deep and soulful house DJ, but I'm quite versatile. I can play hip hop. I can play EDM. I can play commercial, as they put it. But I started DJing in Soweto, and then I moved to Pretoria due to school and other business involved. And yeah, it's been 5 years now. And yeah, I'm quickly building the brand. I'm one of the girls that were picked for the Arts and Culture, the Department of Arts and Culture, to go to Amsterdam. So yeah,
Queen,
soon we taking South Africa to another level.
I love it. I always say, especially when it comes to DJing, I think lots of females haven't quite realized how. I mean, I'm sure it's hard because it's a male dominated industry, but it's such a privilege to be one of, you know, the roses that stand out amongst the thorns, because it's quicker for people to recognize you.
Yes.
But out of the 10 DJs that were on the lineup, we had the woman.
Yes.
So it kind of makes people get up and pay a little bit more attention.
It shakes the boys in there.
I actually even wrote this on my WhatsApp that, guys, I want to learn how to DJ. Like, I seriously want to learn how to DJ. So I'm going to watch you really, really closely.
No problem.
What kind of mix can we expect today?
Today it's going to be a little bit of Afro tech and a little bit of deep house. But you'll listen.
Okay, I have some avid listeners of the show, Belinda, Carol, who are absolute house lovers. So I'm sure they're gonna enjoy your set.
Gonna have fun.
So okay, girl, let's go deep.